So now we're going to take a little detour and talk about methods for a bit. This program here says hello, right? Obviously. Let me go ahead and run the program. You can see this program will say hello, and it says hello. So now what if I wanted to do this, but instead using a method, right? How would I do that? Well, I would come out here, and I would say public static void, say hello is the name of the method, two parentheses, curly brackets, and inside the body of the say hello method, I'm going to put the code that I want to execute. Now this here is called the method definition, and over here is where I want to call it. So I'm going to say the method call. Right? So how do I call this method definition? Well, all you need to do is say the name of it. Say hello. It's case sensitive, so make sure you have your uppercases in the right location. And when it gets to line 10, it gets to the method call, it's going to jump to line 14, and it's going to execute the code that's inside the curly brackets. Once it's finished and it gets to line 16, it's going to come back to line 10, say I'm done with that method call, and it's going to get to line 11 and end our program, right? So I'm going to go ahead and compile. Oh my goodness. Compile and run main, and you could see that it says hello just like it did before, except this time it's using a method call and a method definition. We can also go ahead and give the method call information. We can give it information like the number 4, right? And what is that 4 going to be used for? Well, let's go ahead and say that that's the number of times we want it to say hello. We want, right? So in the parentheses here in the method definition, we need to say int num. Right, we're creating a variable called num that is going to store this value of 4 when the method is called. So on line 10, it's going to jump to line 14, and this variable num is going to be equal to 4, right? The number of times we want to print hello. And so now what can we do? Well, we can create a for loop and say I is equal to 0, I is less than num, I plus plus, and we can print line say hello 4 times, like so, right? So I'm going to go ahead and compile this and run it. And you can see it says hello 4 times. So yeah, this is our first step into methods. What is a method? It's a block of code that runs whenever you want it to, right? You can go ahead and call it whenever you want. And how do you call it? You give it the name, 2 parentheses, and if there are any parameters here in the definition, you need to give it that value. And if there are no parameters, then you leave it empty with just 2 parentheses, right? And so, yep, let's go ahead and stop there, and we'll talk a little bit more about methods in the next video.